Hi, I'm Mindy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my week 1 wrap up for Horror Mayhem, and I had a lot of fun reading for local horror week. I'm already way behind on my set TBR, but TBRs are a game plan and they're meant to be tweaked if necessary. At least in my case, they are. But I did read one book that was a local horror book, not from my town, but from like the next town over. And it's actually set in Fort Collins, Colorado. This is Blood Red by Jason Bovberg. I got a signed edition from Barnes & Noble. This is the first book in the apocalyptic trilogy, and I need to read on in this series, that's for sure. For some reason, the blood and the red cover, I thought it was a vampire book, but it's not. It is a whole new take, something I've never seen before for an apocalyptic novel. And I really liked it. And it was really cool that it was set in Fort Collins, Colorado, because I know all the streets, I know all the places and where they are in town, and it's like, whoa, things are not going well in one of my favorite towns at the moment. So Blood Red. Blood Red follows a young protagonist, 19 years old, living with her father and stepmother. She goes out late and sneaks in and goes to sleep. And when she wakes up, it's pretty late and her father and stepmother are not, up and moving. So she investigates, and her mom or stepmom is lying on her bed with bright red light coming out of her mouth, just like horrible red light. And when Rachel goes to investigate, she gets burned. Like, that is a burning red light. And she doesn't have a pulse or anything. Like, she's dead. That's really strange thing to happen in overnight. And her dad is nowhere to be found. So this is a book, Rachel going and trying to figure out what on earth is going on. Things are looking equally bizarre outside of her own home, and she has to go find her dad and figure out what's going on. And it is quite the journey, and I can't wait to read more in the series because things just accelerated from there. Really, really interesting. Love that it's a local author and set in a local area, so that's wonderful. This was published by Permuted Press and has a bunch of other books published by this small press. And I saw some names I recognized. Craig DeLuey was the big one. His book, The Infection and The Killing Floor, were put out by this press as well, which I'm reading a Craig DeLuey book this week for movie week, and it's really good. So yes, check out Blood Red and check out Permuted Press. On the bingo board, this would... Oh man, I didn't even check. It would be indie book. It would be I don't know if there's apocalyptic square. And the next book I finish in the week, that was it for local horror, but I finished 2 other books in the first week of May. First one is The Angel of Indian Lake by Stephen Graham Jones. This was not my planned arc, but it's a carryover from April because I didn't quite finish it. And this is the 3rd book, and this was like the epic finale, and it was really good. These books are... They take their time. They're a little bit slow pace, but there are some really amazing slashery scenes and a lot of heart as well, with an amazing main character who takes quite a journey through these 3 books and has dealt with a lot in her life. Jade is my final girl, that's for sure. I love the whole trilogy, and I gave The Angel of Indian Lake 5 stars. And the last book I finished in the first week was also one I started in April but didn't quite finish, and it was an audiobook for A Child Alone with Strangers by Philip Fracassi, which is an amazing novel. I really enjoy Philip Fracassi's storytelling and stories. This one is about a young boy whose father dies, and he has a special ability to be able to hear people's thoughts, which comes in handy when some really bad people realize that this boy has come into a lot of money from the death of his father, and they kidnap him to ransom that money from his caretakers. So it's a mix of things. Like, it's got the paranormal element with reading the thoughts, and it's got kidnapping, which is so tense and terrifying. And I don't want to go into any sort of details, but it also has another big horror element that you would not expect. And I was floored. I love this book. I love all the pieces that come together perfectly. For me, this was a masterpiece, and I gave it 5 stars as well. Child Alone with Strangers on the bingo board counts for kidnappings. And then The Angel of Indian Lake, I counted that for slashers and diverse author. That's everything I read for Local Horror Week. I went to a horror convention and film festival this past weekend for movie week, and I actually bought a few more local horror books, so there will be a small local horror haul in the next video, as well as some of the goodies I picked up at the convention. Oh, so much fun. The timing worked out perfectly for a movie week. I also watched a couple great indie horror movies at the movie film festival, including one zombie movie, so that works for Zombie-thon. I'll tell you more about those in my movie horror week wrap up. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them, and I'll be back very soon with another book related video. Thanks.